All right, everyone. Hello. This is Level with Me. This is my show where I play through games and talk about what I think the level design is doing. And it's been a while, right? Last stream was I think in December 2019, and now we're in a brave new year of 2020, and gonna do the same damn thing we did every year, which is play some games and make gay sex jokes. I guess that's my brand now. I don't really know. Yeah, happy New Year, everyone. Uh, so I thought I would start this year off with playthrough of Black Mesa, just because they recently released everything. They finished Zen and released Zen. So I'm pretty excited to see what happened there. As you may or may not know, if you follow me, I used to work on Black Mesa probably in its early years. I contributed mostly to Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, as well as, here and there. That's what happens on mod projects. Um, but for probably the last 10, 15 years, I haven't had much involvement or anything back me. So, um, a lot of it will feel kind of fresh to me. I actually haven't played it in a long time. I think I played it when it first came out to see how it came out. But it'll be exciting to revisit a lot of it. I also wanted to play this just because it's always good, when you've been out of streaming for a long time. It's always good to play something you're pretty familiar with, and I'm pretty familiar with Half-Life. That's kind of like completely in my wheelhouse. So that would be nice. We'll play through some levels, talk about some level design, turn on some developer wireframes, fly around the levels, all that good fun stuff you've grown to expect from me these days. So let's dive into it. Okay, Black Mesa. Should I play on normal? Maybe I'll play on normal. Let's see. I might have to turn on cheats. I don't know, but let's see how good I am. We'll start off with Black Mesa Inbound. I guess that's the thing to do, right? How was everyone's holiday? Did everyone have a good? December? A good January? I had a pretty good January. Did a lot of traveling. Oh, the game's starting. Hey, everyone, pay attention now. God, look, okay, look at that. Whoa, whoa, what the heck is going on with my... What is wrong with this? Wait, what? I think my mouse is messed up. Hold on. Whoa, my mouse sensitivity is set to 288,000. Why is my mouse sensitive? That's really high. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my mouse input. So let me do that. Whoa, what was wrong with my controls? My mouse look messed up? Why is my primary attack set to enter? Who does that? What? That's kind of weird. Okay, I think all my other mouse stuff looks okay. I have no idea what was going on with that. That was really weird. Okay, now I can look up and down. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Now my mouse sensitivity is too low. Whoa, now it's set backed up to like 3 million. Is that okay? No, that's very not okay. Dude, Black Mesa, fix your mouse menu. Oh my god. Okay, okay, now it's back.
Good morning and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System.
Wait, I don't like the field of view. Hold on. I should have configured all this before we started, huh? Yeah, I like mouse filter on, sure. Yeah, this like menu thing is broke, but they didn't recode the menu. They're using the same menu code, I think, as typical Source stuff. Kind of funny. I just want to set the field of view smaller because this is like 90 degrees. I think this is too much. Can I set the field of view lower? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna set this to 75 because I think that looks better. And I'm all about visuals here. Wait, what happened to my... Okay. Okay, there we go. I think this is pretty playable. Okay. So, Black Mesa. Gosh. Yeah, this brings me back. Look at all this. The tram's going kind of too fast. I wish it was going slower. You know what? Let's turn on some no clip. Let's turn on some SV cheats. And let's just go investigate what we left behind. I feel like we missed a lot of good content back here. Also, I was fumbling around in my menu place, so had to fix it. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so just first off, I remember. So you have to understand the context of Black Mesa Source, which is that, started back in, oh gosh, when was that? Like 2004, 2005, I think. Way back when. There's just a lot of concern about, yeah, how would you update Half-Life 1? Do you have a very heavy hand? Do you like replace everything? Or do you try to keep a lot of resemblances? Or do you try to like refresh it? Like, what does it mean to remaster something? What does it mean to update something? Which is something I'm still actually very interested in as like a game development practice. But um, already you can see that we were under immense pressure to deliver something that looked like clearly very different from the previous old version. So like right here you can see I think it was Spencer Rose who was the main level designer on this section, or who built out a lot of the basic first parts of Black Mesa Inbound. Um, you already see that it's just we have to guitar solo this first room, right? I think this first room in the original, it's like, who cares? The player is gonna look at it for 5 seconds, and true enough, if you play this yourself, you get to look at this room for 5 seconds. But still, you feel like you have to do all this stuff to like justify all this effort, to justify all this work. Uh, you gotta. Question from Space 52 is anti-aliasing on? Oh gosh. I think I crammed all my. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get. Oh wait, no, it wasn't on. Okay. Good thing I'll turn it on. Cascading Shadow Map only goes up to medium. Okay. And let's reflect all. Let's turn up all that stuff, all that good stuff. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. But yeah, you just have to understand that that's why we had to guitar solo this first room, because it's like because we also fall in with graphic stuff. We also just fall into this like what I would call a screenshot fallacy of game development, where we feel like the screenshot is how most people will experience the game, which is actually maybe not that false, right? So that's also another reason why you'd want to guitar solo this first room, even though the player only sees it for 5 seconds, so that you can post this as a screenshot, as publicity, as media, and be like, look at how much work we're putting into this. Do you even care? Do you even see all the work and detail going into this? But I mean, we can critique this room a little bit, even though it's not really meant to be playable or walkable, right? Is it even solid? Can I even like? Can't actually walk around. But it looks like there's not much. There's a lot of stuff that's masked out or hidden, though not entirely necessary. I think these days, okay. So one common development practice is to apply texture called null or no draw or something like that, and that texture means it won't draw that face. It just turns invisible. Supposedly, the reason why you would do that is so that you're saving like polygons or something. There's less for the game to render. But I think these days you probably wouldn't do that. Partly because it's not really worth all the optimization. It's like shaving off one polygon off of like a 20,000 polygon model. That doesn't really save you that much in the end, really. And that's not even how 3D renders work anyway either now. But the other more important reason why you might not want to do that is because now with the no face there, there's nothing for light to bounce off of. So in the end, you'll notice that this corner is just really, really dark. Part of it is that, yeah, I guess there's no light really pointing around here, but one contributor to that is that there's no floor here. And if there's no floor here, then there's nothing for light to bounce off of. Although it does look like they placed some point lights here, but maybe that's in the hallway right underneath. Yeah, that's just for these little light boys right here, who aren't even light fixtures, they're just brushes. That's kind of cool. I'm into that. So yeah, just keep in mind that this is Source 1. We're basically working in like or or not we, they were basically working. I should speak of them in third person because really I kind of had to peace out because I had my own stuff going on, so I couldn't stay on. So I should speak about them really. You have to understand just that. Yeah, this project started in 2005, and now it's finally finished in 2020. Like, think of all the assets, think of all the graphics, think of how much computer hardware has changed over those years. You can't go back and update all the assets. They might have looked good back in 2006, or might have looked state of the art back in 2008, but you you no one has that kind of time, right? So if you do play Black Mesa right now and you do feel like it looks kind of old, or you wish it looked cooler or flashier or something, just understand. Yeah, we weren't working with photo scan stuff. This isn't physically based rendering either. This was just made a long time ago by a group of volunteers. So relax, cut them some slack. Um, but yeah, I still personally think a lot of this holds up pretty well. Um, I think one problem they might have had, or they might have had, is just that texturing back then was just much less impressionistic. It relied a lot more on the diffuse maps. So a lot of the textures you'll notice just feel very like grungy in a very 2000 2002 kind of way, just because that was the tradition of game art we were working with back then. Now the tradition now is to like do minimal grunge so that you let all your specular and your roughness maps shine, so that everything looks really shiny and fancy. Um, but here, previous generation of stuff, we're not beveling every edge. Notice how sharp this corner is. Oh no, we're not doing any of that stuff. Let's see what else is going on here. At least they're like sitting there. It looks like a real NPC. He's just sitting there. These people are just like set dressing, right? They're not really doing much else here. What else is going on here? Let's see. One thing I feel a little bit weird about now is that I feel like it's a little bit too dirty in a way that just doesn't make sense anymore. Like, are these like Metro cards? Like, what is that really? This is adult tickets? Like, why would this like private government agency have required you to buy your own tickets? Like, and then there's no ticket machines around here. It's just weird that there's litter. Like, why are people depositing their office trash here? I mean, now it doesn't really make much sense, but this packet of crisps is oh my god, Naked Fries is like casting like a pretty dark shadow. Oof. Let's fly around a little bit more. These are just empty rooms to fill in some more space, I think, to make it feel a little lived in. I think nowadays, yeah, this type of level design has also kind of fallen out of fashion, I'd say, where we're not so desperate to build inaccessible spaces like beyond the walls of the playable area, because now you can just build out the level kind of wherever you want. But back then, this type of set dressing, background, skybox stuff was still, non-trivial to implement. So building it out meant that it was like an artistic statement almost. That was just, yeah, trendy at the time. I like the symmetry here. This is actually kind of bold and doesn't really. It feels actually, yeah, almost kind of another time. Symmetry, I think, is very popular now in level design now. But back then, there was a lot of pressure to not do symmetry because then you're like reusing content and stuff. Similar thing here, yeah. You might notice that this level you reuses a lot of NPC poses. What if the player notices? But remember that you spend 5 seconds in here. You don't even have time to notice the NPCs because by the time you've even configured your mouse sensitivity, you're already out the door and through this room. So yeah, this is a room that basically did not exist in the previous version, and now it had to be guitar soloed because of community expectation. Let's fly down a little bit and look at this little weird, cute little nothing room right here. What is that? Keep going right here. More people. Oh, look at this guy. That's so dangerous. Okay, like you don't do that. I don't even do that. Like waiting for the subway. I don't do that. Like, dude, what is wrong with you? Also, this isn't very OSHA compliant these days. Like I think you need some like like bumps and like thread plate. Something with texture on the bottom here. This is just caution stripes. Yeah, not very compliant with government building codes anymore. But oh well. You might notice that there's basically two flavors of set dressing here too. One is chairs and vending machines, chairs and vending machines, chairs and vending machines. But there's a good, I think, attempt at trying to distinguish between all these, right? So notice here, back here, the lighting's kind of cool, and then the lighting gets kind of warm, and then the lighting gets kind of cool again, right? So this is trying to use lighting to distinguish how these different areas are getting used. This is like a maintenance area, right? So it uses like yellow, warm, hot, industrial lighting. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, in the chat, Mega Spell says Elon Musk's Tesla factories replace the yellow caution paint with gray paint. Oh my goodness. Yeah, gray caution stripes. Yeah, that doesn't really feel like right, but I guess that's what looks better. I mean, maybe it does look better. I don't know. Let's see what else is going on here. So of course we would hide this because the player doesn't even see around that corner, so it doesn't matter. Let's see what else is going on here. This is playing off of like a chapter 1 aesthetic. This is again like a side area that didn't exist, but you're under immense pressure to add more detail to all the things. Looks like this was the updated version of Barney knocking on the door, maybe? But what's kind of sad is that you're on the far side of this track, so you don't even get a good view of him knocking on the door. Wow, those ammo boxes are really big. It's like the size of a person. Let's see. What else is going on here? Textures, textures, textures. A lot of set dressing, a lot of conduits, a lot of wires. A lot of pipes. This cool radiator thing. I'm a fan of this radiator thing. Is that a Counter-Strike prop, though? It kind of doesn't look like something that was made in the same style, I think. Anyway, let's keep going. Then there's this security office right here. Some nice details here, some little junction boxes. Nice detail with the buzzing fluorescence. That's pretty special. I was always a big fan of this light texture too. Just so much nice detail. I don't know. This looks like a brush. Is this a prop or a brush? Oh man, I don't remember any of the... Oh no, that was a prop. Okay. So again, if you've never been on the stream before, I like going to wireframe mode sometimes in case I want to like investigate the construction of source games sometimes. To review, if you see something that's red or pink, and also then red or pink means that's the world geometry that a level designer built. And if you see something blue or teal, that means it's a static mesh or static prop. That means an environment artist or a modeler built it. But Twitch compression does not tend to like the wireframe, so I usually turn it on only for a little bit. Bot asks, can Black Mesa pinch props from Counter-Strike? That's where I accused this prop of being from Counter-Strike. From like a jungle map? From like Militia? I don't know, I can't remember. I think it can. I believe that's a freedom that that Valve has extended to all source mods. In the chat, Space52 also asks, does Source Engine use quaternions for rotation? I'm actually not sure. Probably, just to avoid gimbal lock. There's probably some implementation of that. But I haven't dived too deeply into source code to know that. Let's see. But yeah, Megaspell says, oh, shame there's no like parallax mapping or that fake Spider-Man window, PS4 window thing, shader effect. But you know, this is back when we weren't slathering shaders everywhere. This is back when you use the standard 3 shaders you get with Source and you don't make your own shaders. What else is going on? This security office is kind of cute. What's going on here? This guy, oh, very stern. He looks like John McCain, kind of. He's very serious looking at this screen. What else is going on here? Oh yeah, nice screensavers. Yeah, I'm a fan of these screensavers too. A lot of texture memory. That's a pretty smooth frame rate animation. I love this fan prop. This fan prop, I want this to be my son. This fan prop is now my family. Oh my god, this is it's so cute. I don't know why I think it's so cute. Nice details. I would have done a little bit more structure on the sides of it, you know, but it's still quite lovely. What else is happening here? I like how bright this lighting is to help the HDR pop a little bit. This is a nice security console thing. Oh my god, wait, was that guy always there? I just noticed, wait, was he always there? I don't know. Never mind. Okay, let's just keep going. Spooky. Let's see, what else is going on here? Some Half-Life 2 props making an appearance, or maybe a Counter-Strike prop, that one. You know, various little set dressing. People drop in little foam cups. Very bad for the environment, but, you know, environmental storytelling doesn't care about the environment. Nice junction boxes here. Let's see. I think what would have happened is, yeah, we would have gone on through here. What's through here? Nothing. Okay, let's keep going. Geez, at this rate, it's gonna take me like the entire year to get through. It's just so interesting. I love poking around everything. It's gonna take me forever to get through the entire game. Sorry. Okay, let's keep looking around. Oh gosh, look at this. Like, why is this here? Why would you put a decal right here? It's so odd. I mean, no offense to whatever level designer did that. Oh, this prop looks kind of weird. Did I texture this prop? Oh, this might have been my fault, sorry. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see, this room. I like... So this room has like a really cool central idea, which is like... It's a round tunnel, but with a quarter of this round tunnel like missing. And then it turns into this really cool mezzanine kind of like it's just a really nice, interesting, unusual shape that you don't really see in real world environments. So I guess it would be super expensive to build like this. To build this like weird cantilevered reinforced concrete tunnel thing. So but in terms of game architecture, you know, we can build whatever we want. So yeah, I do like this overall shape. The repetition where we do this ribbing along the corridor also works pretty well because it helps establish the scale of the whole tunnel segment. If you didn't have these like girder things right here, it would look much less interesting, and it helps like accentuate the shape more, if that makes sense. I also like how the level designer has um, thought more about how like these crossbars here to support the track are pretty interesting. Um, I think probably not that realistic. If you talk to an engineer, I think they would say like you wouldn't necessarily do it like this. Probably bad to do that. It would probably be a separate monorail track that's not attached like that. But it looks cool. I think it looks cooler this way. What else is going on here? A lot of different. Okay, so there's a nice variety of colors. My critique of this would be it's actually too blue. Um, where the color story that's been established in previous segments is that blue and white kind of signify these public access employee facing areas. But then we go here, and this is like a different shade of blue. This is like a maintenance blue. This is like a Star Trek blue. This is a very different blue from the other blues, if that makes sense. So it feels odd. It's like a different blue. This blue is not allowed. Um, so here, the color story to me is a little bit confusing, especially when you're mixing it with this teal right here. To me, this. Oh wait, no, maybe it's the same blue. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. But this looks like a different blue than that blue, right? Now I'm just bluing my load all over these blues. And then this is almost too yellow to me a little bit. I don't know. I mean, there is a big unfortunate trend in game art these days to go more towards desaturation. So I do want to applaud the colorfulness of it. Um, but I think the odd part of it is just we rely it's this kind of construction, we're relying so much on lighting to provide color when ideally the diffuse or the albedo texture should be providing more of the color, because otherwise without lighting all this would just be gray, and I think that's not the best. I think if you want to make strong color statements, do that in the textures. Don't lean on your lighting so much to do that, because colored lighting oftentimes ends up looking kind of garish and a little bit out of character sometimes. Like this is almost lit like a gay club, if you ask me. And not like the cool edgy. I mean, no, yeah, this would be like a kind of edgy kind of lighting. I don't know. Anyway, enough about the lighting. Sorry to harp on that. Yeah, I do. Ubersprode mentions that they like the lighting or the fog. I'm sorry. There's very subtle fog that comes in, and so imagine we were on this track, going like this. The very subtle distance fog and haze does help sell the scale of the room. So it's pretty nice. The fog is pretty very intense though, like very discreet. I think I would have made it a little bit more gradual than that, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. Video games tend to exaggerate fog really heavily, especially in open world games like Skyrim, where Skyrim is technically the size of like Manhattan, basically. It's very small, but to sell the scale of stuff, we set fog and atmospheric scattering really, really near to the camera. Really, it's almost like rainforest density types of fog here, but we do it anyway just because you get like a Disneyland forced perspective kind of thing. But this is also true, right? We're also missing the context of this, where it's designed to be on a moving tram, and on a moving tram, maybe that fog would feel very different. So that's also a very good point. 8-bit slide. Let's see. Let's keep going. Go here. Oh, why is this here? What? That's the okay. So this is. I'm such a fucking nerd. This is. You should not be using this seal in this part of the Black Mesa facility because this seal is reserved for Chapter 10 or whatever questionable ethics. That's for the land. That's across from the Lambda complex. That's not. This is the wrong place to use this decal. Wagging my finger as a Half-Life nerd. Boo. Okay, keep going. Oh, this guy was probably scripted to walk around, but we missed his little walk cycle. So that was his little runway moment we missed. Oops. He probably walked out of this room since the door is open. I'm guessing he was walking here, walked out, and then walked over there, and then walked there. Or maybe he was standing here. Who knows? Oof. Let's see. Bump map on this brick's a little bit too strong, a little bit too like pokey, a little bit, but you know we had to show up. You have to show off that you have normal maps because Half-Life 1 didn't have normal maps, but we do. So, and then what's down here? This is kind of a copy of that first room that I was arguing was kind of guitar soloed, but you can also see that as some people in the chat have been arguing, this was a little bit guitar soloed too, right? Especially with the huge scale of everything, especially with all these little details. These little rooms are actually also really important because they help sell the scale of this giant tunnel. If you don't have little, small things in comparison to the big things won't feel big. So that's the function of these small rooms. These are set dressing rooms so that you have a frame of reference for how teeny tiny that person is in comparison to this whole giant complex. I like the ooh, this is really nice to have this room dark. Is super interesting. So that you just have all this self-illuminated stuff lit up. Very wasteful. You should not turn off. You should turn off your devices if you are going to leave the room. Right? That is not green. That is not ethical. In the chat, Schnedvob asks, as a total newbie, what does guitar solo mean in terms of level design? Yeah, and folks in the chat are pretty much correct. Guitar soloing is when you're like, you know, it's when you're a level designer, environment artist, or basically any type of game developer, and you just put way too much work into something that really doesn't justify the utility you're getting out of it. So again, the point that I made where if you're on the tram, you're in this room for all of 10 seconds, but it probably spent this level designer probably just spend a solid week at least building and finalizing this room, maybe, right? So was it worth a week to make this 10 seconds look cool? It's hard to judge because you can use this as marketing materials for stuff. Or you can just copy and paste stuff from other rooms and then maybe it wasn't that much work in the end. Although this does feel like there was a good chunk of time thought put into this. Okay, let's keep going. Anything else? Oh yeah, and then there's this little nook right here. I would actually say this little nook feels a little bit awkward, but it does feel appropriately kind of futuristic, so maybe it's okay. Like structurally, again, I think you would not want to cut in a tunnel like this, make all these random tunnel length cuts in to compromise the structural integrity of the tunnel. I think that's not how engineering and architecture work, but you know, it's a video game. Why not? Oh, and there's this little nook here. Look, yeah, look at all these nooks. And they even added a sign that no one's gonna see. But it's cool. I'm into it. Okay, one last detail I want to point out. So one detail that they've carried over from the original that I really enjoy is the proportion of this tunnel, this tram tunnel. You'll notice that it's like a rectangle. It's like a tall rectangle, and it's kind of odd, right? Like you'd expect the form factor of these tunnels to be kind of like round or to fit other things, but if you play the original, it's kind of like this awkward tall tunnel boy kind of. It feels a little bit strange, but I'm kind of into it. And then I feel like, I don't know, I need the golden ratio or overlay for this stream, but I feel like if you measured it, would it be like the golden ratio? Maybe. I don't know. Like, no, maybe it's not the golden ratio. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Let's keep going. Um, keep going. Oh, and then this is where the tram was waiting for us this whole time. Oops. Can we trigger the level change? Uh-oh. Okay, wait. Let me turn on God mode. I think I have to walk onto the tracks to trigger the level change. You should not walk on tracks though, okay? Am I triggering the level change yet? Uh-oh. I think I messed something up. Oops. Wait, why am I falling down? Uh-oh. I think I messed it up. I'm sorry. And I can't even walk on the... Damn. I might have missed the window. Maybe the trigger is active only for a little bit of time? Maybe I have to walk further on the track? No, that can't be it. Uh-oh, I broke the game. Uh-oh, sorry. You know what? Let's just, we're in BM. Let's just do the manual level change. Okay, there we go. Let's see,
This train is inbound from level 3
Oh, it's weird that the tram didn't slow down. You put all that work into it, and then you didn't even slow down to let us see that? Oh, is that guy sparking? What the heck is that guy doing?
High security area beyond Sector C. You will need to return to the central
Oh, you should
transit
slow down
hub.
here so we can see it. In the chat, Sierra Offline, hey Lane, asks, how do I get the panels below my stream? Yeah, you might have a switch. You need to turn it on. You have to turn on the panels, and then you can edit the panels on your own channel page, too.
Into the high security branch of the transit system.
Ooh, I like these shapes. I like this funny little cut right here. That's nice. Oh wait, I'm gonna no-clip before it forces me through. Okay, so, let's go back to where we were. And investigate some of these in closer detail. Oops, I went too far back. Okay, so, let's go right here. So this is a recreation from the original Half-Life 1 where they have this painstakingly animated mechanical arm prop thing. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, we have God rays coming through these windows, except they're kind of intense. It's kind of too much. I think I would have toned these down a little bit more. But again, you know, priorities, pressure. These shelves, the yellow feels a bit too strong. I think I would have taken them down a few notches. I don't know. Is there a dead body in this forklift? Oh, I thought there was a dead body in here. I don't know what's wrong with me. See what else is going on here. Overall, I like the warehouse vibe, and I like the idea of, yeah, we're going through the, like, workshop area of this facility. I like the detail on these shelves where there's, like, some thought given to, like, the construction a little bit. Yeah, like, what is that? This is a nice shelf prop. You know, whoever made this shelf prop, good job. I mean, I think the yellow was too strong, but the modeling and the whole concept of the prop is well done, I think. Let's see, what else is going on here? some very, very deep detail here. You'll recall that we were on this track, and you look over here, and you get to look over there for like 3 seconds, and they built out this entire workshop area. Unless we pass... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We passed back through... Okay, so it's a big circle. That's why. Okay. So it's a big U-turn to reuse that area. That makes sense. What's going on here? What are these Sparky boys doing? Ooh, I like the safety goggles. Good touch. I like that there's one person supervising someone else. That's also a nice touch. That's how stuff works. One safety person, one person who supervises, one person who does the work. Oh, then they have a gun. That's like the welding gun. That's a hot glue gun. That's literally a hot glue gun that you get from like Michael's. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, this seems like a pretty typical kind of filler room here. I like these feel like improvised things that aren't props. This looks like brushwork to me. Oh no, these are props. Oh, my bad. I guess they are kind of bevelly. Okay, let's keep going. Then we go here. Let's see. Yeah, the windows are just a little bit much, but it's fine. Here the hero prop is... Here the hero prop is this giant rocket here. I think the rocket is meant to kind of foreshadow the thing you'll have to do with when you like launch a rocket later in the game. So it's foreshadowing. It's also nice asset reuse. It's also just an interesting looking object, if I do say so myself. And then a bunch of these dudes just looking down, really depressed. Yeah, that's how men behave at the workplace. Let's keep going. Over here. I think this is a Counter-Strike prop. I think this is from like Prodigy or something. Don't quote me on that. Let's keep going here. Ooh, yeah, okay, this is very realistic. Look at this. Look at this like safety signage thing. The tank is encased in this red cage thing, safety cage. That's nice. So some nice research with the props here. And then I also like that there's some dedication to how like construction sites or warehouses do their construction, where it's like these portable type of foreman offices that are clearly separate from the rest of the structure, but just standing up on these struts right here. Video games tend to rely on them a little bit too much to add interest, and it's usually a really nice excuse to add stairs and catwalks for some verticality. That's why it's kind of overused here a little bit, but it's still nice to look at. And then you might be wondering, why is this just leading into a bright white oblivion? Why is this leading up to heaven? The reason why is this is what's called a portal. Not like a portal like from the game Portal, although maybe a little bit like this. This is more in the sense of visibility occlusion portals, where this is like an imaginary door or window that we shut off visibility. So the game engine pretends this is a wall. And now that wall, past that wall, it doesn't render anything else. So that's a really convenient way to save some polygons sometimes when you need to manually occlude things. So for example, this portal turned on when we were on this tram and we went past it. So maybe there was some kind of bug here where the engine was still drawing stuff around this corner, and maybe this turn wasn't quite sharp enough for visibility to automatically do the occlusion culling, so then you had to manually do the portal. And then there's some game engines that where you have to manually do this all the time. So, for instance, I believe if you work in Doom 3 or in Tech 4, you have to manually do all your visibility occlusion. You have to manually draw all your portals, and it's kind of annoying. So, have some sympathy for poor Brendan Chung manually drawing out all these visibility portals. Um, Thank you for your service, Brandon. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so this is definitely um, a guitar solo kind of thing, right? Look at this. Look at this giant view they built for the player to look at for literally like 5 or 10 seconds before it descends down into here, right? And then you just descend through this really huge landscape. Why was all this built out? To show off the giant distances and greater production value that was being poured into this production. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, this is a really nice. The texture on this is really nice. I mean, it kind of does look like just like CG textures a little bit, but from a distance, it looks pretty nice. I really like noisy things. I feel like noise is an interesting like indicator of distance and density and detail. I think noise in games and game art should be used more aesthetically, but that's just me. But there's this giant vista here. Really nice use distance fog here, right? Oops, we're entering the skybox there. So another source engine implementation thing you might not be aware of. With really large landscapes or skyboxes, usually you build out the skybox in a separate room as a 3D skybox. For all intents and purposes, this is basically the edge of the level right here, but then we render past the edge. Here you can see the clear demarcation between where the skybox is and where the actual level geometry is. And then we keep rendering the skybox, and that's like a little model, like maquette, you build at 1/16 or 1/30 or 1/32 scale in a separate room. So here's the weird little model maquette thing over here. And the reason you might do that is I don't actually know why. Did Source have like floating point issues with the precision of the coordinate space? I don't really know. But if you know, feel free to chime in the chat. Maybe there's not a technical reason. Maybe it's more of an artistic design reason. It's easier to build small than it is to build giant, huge things all the time. Yeah, let's keep going down here. So then the train went down here. We kept going this way. Nice little cactus boy right here. Look, you can even see the little spines, right? Look at that attention to detail right there. It's pretty high resolution. Let's see what else. I think it's good. Ooh, this is okay. So this, oof. So that doesn't really look realistic to me, but still looks kind of cool. In general, they've done really nice rock materials. The normal maps are just so crunchy here. I'm a fan of these cliffs. It did. I wish there was more specular on these cliffs, but that's just me because I'm living in a 2020 PBR era now. But yeah, the rock shapes here feel really strange, right? Like, I don't think rocks necessarily do this weird slab thing that's going on here, but it looks really nice. It's like a really nice steak or something. It's like, and it's nice to look at steaks sometimes. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, let's keep going. Then you go through this tunnel. This is also mirroring the Half-Life 1 progression through the tram tunnels. Uh, ooh, that was a personal trigger. Ooh, look. Where you go through that tunnel, then you go through these rock tunnels. Actually, there should be little holes of sunlight through these tunnels, but that wasn't really realistic. A lot of work went into sculpting this little cave thing, right? But really nice incorporation of the rock props here. So here you can see the white geometry was by the level designer. That's what we call displacement terrain. That's used when we have to sculpt organic shapes, but it's very like painful to sculpt in the Source 1 level editor. It's not like Unity or Unreal at all. Those are like modern sculpting tools. This one, it was like point by point. It's like very excruciating, very annoying to do terrain. I don't miss that at all. But here you can see, yeah, and then the blue ones were by the environment artist, and it's just sunk in the level geometry like that. You'd expect it to stand out a lot, but it actually melds pretty well. I'm actually, I think, rather impressed here. And that's just down to pretty good texturing. Yeah, nice. I mean, this one sticks out a little bit, but I feel like this one's like, oh, perfect. Love it. What else is going on here? All these pipes and rocks feel a little bit silly to me. Like this feels very silly to me. Like what? Like no one does that in real life. It's kind of funny, but you know, I love all these shapes. This unusual kind of like bent tunnel shape is nice. We love a good tunnel shape here. Yeah, there wasn't much soft select when you were sculpting these caves. It was just there was a radius you could affect things, and it would apply based on like a exponential power over time. So it was kind of soft selecty, but it doesn't give you much control. It was just very annoying to use. I didn't like it. I never liked it. That's why I chose to work on the chapter that didn't have any terrain on it. I'm not a fan. Okay, then you enter here, which also mirrors the Half-Life 1 progression, where this is like a very famous set piece. I mean, not famous, famous among Half-Life nerds, where you see a helicopter here, and then scientists run out onto the helicopter or something. Let's see. Ooh, look at this. Look at this nice little detail. Ooh. I think this is a Counter-Strike prop. I'm pretty sure, is this from like CS Airfield or something? This is from like a jungle themed map, I believe. Anyway, let's see what else. So there's a lot of work done here, clearly. Really nice flavor of love. But there's also just a lot of tricks. So notice that the level designer basically copy and pasted these towers over and over, right? So you build one tower and you just copy and paste it over and over. It's not that big of a deal. But that tower is also reused right here, right? So that's probably one of the most important fundamental things that you need to learn as if you're like just beginning in level design. You might underestimate the extent to which you should be copy and pasting. And the answer to that is always copy and paste all the time, especially if it's two separate rooms and it's just set dressing. Definitely copy and paste, because no one will care or notice. Or even or it even establishes like structural unity and continuity, where this is like a cliffy concrete thingy, and then this is like a cliffy concrete thing. And although the terrain of both of these doesn't even match up, right? Technically, this cliff is much higher than here. It doesn't make sense that we wouldn't be able to see the other side from here, but it doesn't even matter. What matters is that it should feel like continuous and like unified and all that. What else is going on here? Again, look, like props to the rock sculpting, really nice stuff. Rock arch. Okay, this is a little bit silly. This, I don't know if this was in the original. It might have been. But this just feels really gratuitous to me. This feels like rock arches, as you may or may not know, popularized by Halo, Silent Cartographer, where there's just a big iconic rock arch, and now we just want to put rock arches everywhere all the time. It's a bit silly. And then look, okay, so it wasn't even enough to guitar solo this rock arch. The level designer also had to put this cool little girder thing in too. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't even really realistic. I don't know if this would actually get built like that. I don't think it would. Yeah, this feels silly. This is also just kind of very I don't know, to get a little saucy. It's a little bit phallic to me. I think it's a little bit, it's definitely like showing off. Like there's definitely some like trunk like feelings coming off. The massing on this rock arch is making me feel things down there. Okay, let's keep going. What's over here? Oh, and then this is just a cool little rock shape, little valley that they put here. And then they like hand placed this tree here? Okay. Float your boat. But yeah, this is also a guitar soloed kind of room. But I mean, okay, this whole chapter is just guitar solo after guitar solo, right? That's the whole point of this chapter. Let's be honest. Okay, let's continue on. Let's see if does it trigger the level change. I think when it breaks the level change, it gives up. Maybe not. Let's look around this room. Anything else? No, these are just kind of typical security fans. Oh wait, what the heck? Oh my god. Wait, what the hell? What the what? What the what? What the hell? What? He what? He saw me. I'm ghosting. I'm like ghosting around and he like saw me. That was creepy. That was fucking creepy. Anyway, now it triggers the level change, I guess. Uh-oh. Oops. Wait, why can't I? Uh-oh. Keeps kicking me out. Okay, there we go. Level change. Level change. Level change. Okay, I'm just gonna trigger the next one. In the chat, Space52 asks, do people still do level design with brushes and meshes and displacements and all this stuff? And the answer is pretty much true what McLoganog is saying in the chat. Hey Andrew, where this kind of workflow has fallen out of fashion. Source 1 is basically the last era of level design where you see level designers doing their own level geometry like this. And a lot of level designers, including me, kind of mourn this era because we feel like level design has, as a discipline, is at a net loss, net negative, when you take away the blockout tools and geometry tools away from designers and make designers totally dependent on a kit or something that an environment artist has to build. Ooh, I really like the specular on this prop. I mean, they bumped it up a lot. because they want you to notice it's this shiny metal thing, but it's worth it.
Biotechnology, or other high-tech disciplines, please contact our civilian recruiting team. The Black Mesa facility is an equal...
This is also a recreation from Half-Life 1. You can see that robot down there, except now it's high poly, and now it's showing you all the stuff. I mean, that's basically the big reason to stop here, so that you can stop here and watch the robot animation. Whoever animated that, good job. That robot is your son. We love robots here. We love fans. I liked that fan too. Did everyone catch that fan? Oh, also notice these dynamic headlights on the front of this tram. Very fancy. You could not do that in Half-Life 1. And now we have the radioactive robot. Reusing the robot in case you didn't get a good... In case you didn't get a good view of it the first time. Very important to see the robot. Oh. Why are these people working so close to radiation? That's not safe. That's not good.
Now arriving at Sector C test labs and control facilities.
Oh.
Please stand back from the automated...
And now we're at the end.
Wait for the security officer to verify your identity.
Yeah, that room's a little bit goofy, huh?
Be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Oh wait, no. Oh no, we didn't investigate. It did the level change.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
Okay, well, I was taking too long anyway. It's okay. So I've done a whole talk about this section where there's a level change and then he walks over and lets you through. I've literally given like a 15-minute talk on that because there was a really complicated design trick. Anyway, I won't bother you with it this time, but if you're interested, look up my other videos, and I spend like 10 minutes talking about that part.
Put some pep in that step, Freeman. You're late enough as it is.
Also, props to all the voice actors in Black Mesa, which, you know, don't always get their due. Victoria was doing the voiceovers in the Black Mesa Inbound, and she is great. She is phenomenal. Love her to death. I believe also the voice actor for a lot of the men in this game is Mike Hilliard.
Why you even bother putting in extra hours down at the hazard course?
Mike Hilliard's lovely.
Do more than flip a switch or push a button around here.
Mike Hilliard has also done voice acting for some of my gay sex games, so watch out for that, you know, if you so fancy it. What else is going on? Okay, let's take in this room, and then I'll probably have to stop now because it's been an hour and I have to teach level design class soon, actually. So first, oh god, look at these girders. Look at this. Oh man, it's so like crunchy. They modeled it out, but it's also like aligned to the texture. Nice work, nice details here. Looks like brushes, looks like nice brushwork. Only a level designer would care about these girders, I think. What else is going on? So this room has not actually been guitar soloed that much from the Half-Life 1 version. And I think it's very specific. I think whoever handled this did this for a very specific reason, because they understood you shouldn't guitar solo this area, because if you did guitar solo this area, it would make the lobby entrance much less impressive, right? So notice here, there's actually not much to look at, right? Most of this is just like a dark room. There's a bit of nice detail here going on. I mean, these girders exist just to cast shadows, it looks like. Oh, wait, where are these shadows even coming from? Are these I don't know what that light is being cast. It's like there's a spotlight from here being cast down there, I guess. I don't know. It's not really clear to me, but this is some nice, Portal 2-esque almost approaches to lighting, which I'm a fan of. But just notice how bare bones in terms of like visual composition this is, right? You're not supposed to really linger in this area too much.
Mom wanted me to waste my money sleeping through college courses when now I'm getting paid to sleep out here.
Guy needs therapy. What's the button to recommend therapy? F? T? Okay. Let's keep going here. Let's see. I think I did do some of the airlock building. So now we're about to enter some of this part that I worked on, but I'm actually going to stop here because it's been about an hour. Actually, yeah, let's just stop here. I won't give you any airlock trivia until next week. How about that? You'll have to bide your time. So in the meantime, save the game. Spent basically an hour on 5 minutes of the game. Really good pace. At this pace, it's going to take a really long time to get through Black Mesa. I'll try to hurry it up in future weeks. So sorry. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for hanging out and checking out the stream. Welcome back to me nerding out about textures and lighting and stuff. And see you next week. Remember the time for this semester is 2 to 3 p.m. Wednesdays Eastern Standard Time, because that's just when I happen to have time. Okay. Thanks everyone. Oh, and also I still also do the main stream for my employer, NYU Game Center, where we do an official university sponsored department talk show thing on Twitch called Game Center Live. That is also on Thursdays, 12 to 1, noon to 1 p.m. Used to be 2 hours, but now it's shortened to 1 hour because it's less work for me. Because it sucks being a TV producer, it turns out. So hopefully see some of you tomorrow, noon to 1 p.m. on the Game Center channel as well. Okay, everyone, have a good rest of your day, and see you later. Bye.